Okay, Tim, thanks for sitting down with us. I'd like to have you introduce yourself and tell me what you do.
Sure. My name is Tim Gaddis. I am a tenant here at the Laramie Plains Civic Center. My business is Tag Technologies. I'm the owner of a small business and manufacturing technology consulting firm, and I am also the chairman of the foundation for the Civic Center.
So, when did you get started with Tag Technologies, and where did the idea come from?
I started Tag Technologies in 2007 as a business to help medical offices in Laramie do some technology transfers for the medical billing systems and medical records that were coming in, transitioning down into the smaller businesses in Laramie. I was working with Dr. Merrill at the oncology center up at Ivinson Memorial Hospital. Found the need to help some other businesses in town and started my own company.
And were you always located here, or did you move here?
No, I moved here actually this year in January, so I've been here just coming up on a year in 2017. I was actually used to be located downtown Laramie, where the majority of my clients were. I've actually transitioned my business out of old strictly medical technology to more just small business, medium-sized business technology in downtown Laramie. So I found that the Civic Center was a better place to be. There was a little bit more room, more people, a little better atmosphere than just the congested downtown Laramie.
So, in terms of getting information for the consulting, do you do surveys and things like that?
I don't do any surveys. A lot of it is just small business technology consulting. The real idea behind my company is to make sure that small businesses, local businesses, privately owned, mom and pop kind of businesses in town get the right technology for the business that they're trying to run. A lot of businesses tend to get oversold in technology. They get oversold in hardware, and they end up with solutions that really put a financial stress on their business. And I didn't see that was very fair, and I wanted to give them the right consulting and get them the right solution for the business that they were trying to run.
Okay. And how do people get in touch with you in terms of the Tag Technologies?
Tag Technologies can be found, on the internet. Tagtechnologies.org is the website, so just a simple Google search could find it, and that's probably the best way. A lot of it's just word of mouth through some other clients of mine that I have would usually recommend get in touch. So I try to keep my client base fairly small because I like to make sure that my clients get the right amount of attention that they need. And if I get too many clients, then of course I get pulled too thin, and I can't do some of the other non-business type activities that I do, like serve on the foundation board, the Uniwile board of directors, currently the Laramie Plains Civic Center Joint Powers board, and then also the Laramie Enduro board. So I do a lot of other stuff besides just work.
Are there people in the building you're working with currently? Or?
I do. There's quite a few businesses that I just do kind of oversight. I just make sure that nothing's going on with them, not as true clients.
Sure.
I kind of see the Civic Center as one of those. They're not truly a client, but if there's something wrong, then of course I'll step in and help.
Sure.
So.
Okay. And you mentioned the Joint Powers Board, so you wear a couple of hats here in terms of the boards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually also the treasurer of the Joint Powers Board as well. So.
And how did you come to be involved and get all those roles?
All these roles, a lot of them, you get asked. I was born and raised and grew up here in Laramie, so I know a lot of people in the community and have dealt with a lot of businesses and members of the community. And from time to time when there's vacancies on boards, you get asked if you would like to participate, or if it's in your interest group, if you'd like to participate on a board. And I have a lot of times a hard time saying no to things. So I find myself on a lot of different civic boards and whatnot.
So in terms of the differentiation between the Joint Powers Board and the nonprofit side of things, how does that work?
The Joint Powers Board was a board that was put together in conjunction with the City of Laramie and the County of Albany through state statute of the state of Wyoming to govern the Civic Center at a time of need a number of years ago. So really it's a quasi-governmental oversight administrative type board. They really oversee the budget and the staff and whatnot of the building. The foundation is more of just that. It's a foundation. It's a group, a board that was put together to help fiscally support the Civic Center. They go out and research grants and then work with a director to put grants together and generate revenue to help the Civic Center out.
So, as you've been here on the foundation as the chair, what are some of those projects that have come to?
Some of the projects that the foundation has really worked on, there's just a number of grants that we each year go out and work towards. There's a number of grants through the state of Wyoming that we work for, specifically the State Land and Investment Bureau. We just got a grant with them to help put the roof together. There's some art cultural grants and a number of different grants you can get through the state, through different organizations like Union Pacific and whatnot you can get. So we work hand in hand with Melissa to get those things done. The majority of the work, of course, falls on her desk, and she does the majority of the work, but we're there to assist her in all those grant needs.
And this is also in terms of the venues that are here, the Griffin Theater and the Phoenix Ballroom and all those. You're helping out in the grants in terms of those.
Correct. A lot of the grant money goes to a rehabilitation of some of these historic rooms and venues that are in the Civic Center, from being a former high school and junior high school in Laramie. Currently the oldest public school building in the state of Wyoming. So it's important to keep those venues open and available to the public for them to use. So we use a lot of the grant money to keep those venues open and accessible and in the nicest form they possibly can.
And how is serving on those boards compared to the other boards that you've served on? Is there a comparison you could make? Or
really, the comparison is they're serving on boards most of them are very similar. There's not a whole lot of hands-on that really happens on a lot of boards. Most boards are generally oversight boards. You go in, you get a lot of reports and a lot of information from management, the directors, and you really act as kind of an outside set of eyes and ears and ideas to help the organization make decisions and move forward. A lot of times within an organization, you kind of get blinders on how things operate and how things work. And to get an outside set of eyes and ears on things can be very beneficial on getting ideas and different ways of seeing things.
So I want to ask you just about the Civic Center itself and all the things that go on here. I mean, how do you feel about the atmosphere of what's going on here and how it's serving the community?
The atmosphere of the Civic Center it's very open and vibrant. I mean, there's a lot of people in the building. A lot of days it's really pretty quiet, which is really nice. But there's a lot of people in and out. The Civic Center does serve a lot of different groups of people in Laramie. So there's a real diversity of people that come through the building, from the arts and entertainment groups to business groups, nonprofits, and those sorts of things. So there's a big diversity of people that come through here. So it's really neat to see the different groups of folks that come through the building and what they're here to do and services that they're here for.
Okay, the last thing I want to ask you is we're sitting in room 105 right now, and this is a sort of an upcoming project that Melissa mentioned in her interview too. But and I know it falls under the foundation, I believe. Sure. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So room 105, it currently doesn't have a name yet, but we're kind of getting towards it. But 105 is going to be the first co-workspace here in Laramie, and a co-workspace is really a place where you can get out of your office, you can get out of your house, you can come to a big neutral area and just work. It's an office type environment. It's fairly quiet, but it's still a social area that you can come and other people can be. So it's a nice way for a lot of people that work at home or work in kind of crowded, busy offices to get out and get some focus, get some things done that they normally couldn't do. So it's a real neat project that we're just about ready to launch.
All right, well, that sounds exciting. Well, I'm glad you're doing that project, and I'm glad you're here at the Civic Center doing the work you do. Thanks for sitting down with us, Tim.
Absolutely, thank you.